Hello, thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate you taking the time to do this. I know it's not our normal setup. We typically like to do presentations like these face to face, but with everything going on, we thought we'd try it virtually. We also want to let you know that we're still here to help and answer questions any way that we can. And that's part of the reason why we're doing this seminar, and we'll follow up with the after to make sure we're answering any questions that you still have. My name is Tony Armagida, and I've been helping families pre-plan their funerals for a little over 7 years. And today what we're going to do is just kind of talk a little bit about the benefits of pre-planning, what that process looks like, and hopefully give you a little information that you feel better about taking the next step. And I'd like to start off by commending you for taking this step. I know talking about pre-arrangements and pre-planning your own funeral is not the most popular topic. It's a hard thing to do. And just with the fact that you've logged onto this shows that you're thinking about it and you're willing to take that next step, even though sometimes it might be uncomfortable. So I do want to commend you on that. It's funny, we plan for all the things in life that might happen. We plan for weddings, we plan for retirement, for college, we plan for car accidents. That's what car insurance is for. Of course, with everything going on, I would have never planned for a pandemic, but here we are. It's something that's happened that we can't plan for. And what's funny is we plan for all these things in life that might happen, but most people fall short when it comes to planning for things that definitely will happen. People spend more time planning their next kitchen appliance purchase than they do their own funeral. And what's sad is actually only about 30% of people this year will plan for their own funeral. And some of that's because, it's a hard topic to talk about. They don't even know pre-arranging is available. They're not comfortable talking about it with their family. And that's why we try to help educate the community and educate families to know that there is a better way to do this. And when you lose someone, when you have a funeral, there's about 100 decisions that need to be made. And those decisions can be tough, they're hard. And to try to do that after you just lost someone, to do that on the worst day of your life, that's when people are making bad decisions. They don't think straight. And there is a better way to do it. We talk about, I guess a personal question to think about it is, if something happened to you today and you passed away, who would be responsible for taking care of your funeral? Would it be a spouse? Would it be your kids? Do they have any idea that you want? Would they be able to handle it? I know most people won't let their kids plan their next vacation, let alone plan their funeral. And it's a lot to try to make that many decisions in just a couple days. So there is a better way to do it. Pre-planning, it's a simple process. It's a lot easier to talk about it today and talk about it together where you can make collective decisions instead of talking about it tomorrow alone. Some of the things that pre-planning does for you is it's really one of the best gifts you can give your loved ones. It also eliminates a lot of emotional overspending. Again, when people aren't thinking straight and they have to make decisions about money, if they're dead, they make bad decisions, and you're eliminating that. It also gets your wishes known and reflects it on paper. So at the time of the service, your family's not left wondering, did I make the right decision or did we do the right things? They know that you prepared that and you were ready and this is what you wanted. It also gives you the ability to pre-fund funerals by planning ahead at today's prices. So by pre-funding today, you're locking in today's service prices so that if you pass away 10, 15, 20 years from now, your family's not having to pay the difference of what that funeral would cost. And the other benefit is by planning ahead today, if you do want to pre-fund that, it's not a requirement, but if you do want to pre-fund it, there's options to make those payments and figure out what that looks like. So pre-planning, in a nutshell, can be summed up in 3 easy steps. The first step is gathering information, and what that entails is basically the legal aspect of dying. We get all the information that's required to complete a death certificate, to fill out obituary notices, everything that's going to be needed. And when you have a service at need, a lot of families forget that information. The number one question that's forgotten is, what's your mother's maiden name for a death certificate? The next step is figuring out your memorial services. So what do you want that day to look like? And when we're figuring out those services, we'll figure out, okay, is there going to be a visitation, a viewing? Would you rather be cremated or buried? Um, and based on those preferences, we see too, is there anything that you want to make sure is not included that you don't want to happen? You got to make those wishes known, but based on your selection, we'll be able to tell you, okay, here's what that will cost. And then the third step is plan. How are you going to take care of that payment? So we can help you walk through steps of, okay, if you do want to pre-fund this today, you have the option to pay that all up front. You can make payments over time. The other benefit is if you do pre-fund that again, you're locking in today's prices, and not every funeral home out there can do that, but we offer a guarantee on our services that, again, if you pass away 15 years down the road, your family's not paying more for our services. The other thing that it does for you is by prepaying and pre-funding, that's locked into a protected account for you, so that follows you anywhere. So ultimately, if the funeral home ever closed or you decided to move or go somewhere else, that plan and that money follows you anywhere. And as another benefit too, if you ever go on Medicaid, this type of irrevocable burial policy can be protected from Medicaid spend down, so it's not going to count against you as an asset. So the next steps for that, it's pretty simple. What we'd like to do is talk with you one-on-one. I'm sure you have a little more questions, and you have questions about your preferences, what everything looks like. But what we like to do is talk with you one-on-one. And again, we don't have to do that face-to-face. We can do that face-to-face, but we can also do that virtually now too. So we can do it over FaceTime, Zoom, Skype, whatever it may be. But what we'll do is reach out to you after this to answer any questions that you do have and help you start the process of getting your final wishes down on paper and making those wishes known. I hope you felt like this was informative, you learned a little bit, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.